A woman boards the plane and notices it's just her and her daughter. Her daughter has been silent since boarding, and she feels an inexplicable sense of unease. After a while, other passengers start boarding the plane. The woman doesn't notice anything unusual, which puts her somewhat at ease. It's a 10-hour-long haul flight, and shortly after takeoff, everyone drifts off to sleep. The woman notices two empty rows in the rear cabin, so she takes her daughter there to lie down. And that's when strange things begin to happen. When she wakes up, her daughter is gone. At this point, she doesn't realize the seriousness of the situation, thinking her daughter might have wandered off to play elsewhere. But when she searches through all 3 levels of the airplane and still doesn't find her daughter, she panics. A flight attendant, after being informed, broadcasts a message asking all passengers to look out for a 6-year-old blonde girl. But a long time passes with no news at all. Even passengers in the front rows claim they didn't notice her boarding with a child. Feeling dazed, the woman rushes back to her seat to check. Her daughter's teddy bear, which she always carried, is still there. This proves that her memory isn't wrong. She insists that the crew conduct a full search of the plane, but the staff don't take it seriously, arguing that no one could leave the sealed cabin 3,000 meters in the air. They casually say they'll report the matter to the captain when they have time. Yet even after 10 minutes, no search is initiated. Suddenly, the woman notices the flight attendants talking nervously. She rushes over to ask if something has happened to her daughter, but the attendant, who had just hung up the phone, tells her that her daughter isn't on the plane. The crew contacted the ground staff, who found no boarding record for her daughter, and her name isn't on the passenger list either. The woman can hardly believe this. She immediately takes out her boarding pass to prove it, but only finds her own in her pocket. Panic washes over her in an instant. She runs to the luggage compartment and opens it, only to find that her daughter's backpack is missing too. But there's no way her daughter could have reached that height, which means someone must have taken her. The woman is now completely frantic. She needs to speak to the captain immediately, so she turns and runs toward the cockpit. As she pounds on the cockpit door, an air marshal restrains her. Her actions have started to disturb other passengers. The commotion even draws the captain's attention, but he only asks if she had been drinking or taking any medication before boarding. It's clear the captain thinks she's hallucinating. The woman admits she has been taking anti-anxiety medication because her husband died 6 days ago after falling from a building. She started taking the medication after his death. This flight was to bring her husband's body back to her hometown for burial. His casket is in the plane's cargo hold. She passionately insists that her daughter boarded the plane with her. She even held her hand until she fell asleep. This is absolutely not her imagination. Her distressed appearance elicits some sympathy from the captain. Despite everyone else saying they hadn't seen the girl, he decides to have all passengers return to their seats and check every possible hiding place a child could feed into. As she walks past a row of passengers, the woman suddenly notices a bearded man who looks oddly familiar.